Salceologists. It's a Friday today. I usually work from home, but I'm about to go into the office today and we're going out for dinner tonight with the girls. I need to do something about this because I accidentally put makeup on my turtleneck, but it's alright. I'll just sort that out when I get to work. But yeah, it's a very busy weekend because it's a long weekend with the public holiday on Monday, so I get to work on a lot of business things this weekend. Yeah, let's do that. You guys remember Yasmin? If you haven't, you gotta watch.
Came to my wedding.
That's right. You guys have to watch my other vlogs. This restaurant's name was Nadam, and it is one of the best Mongolian restaurants in Canberra. The girls and I have come here before, but we sat on the inside of the restaurant. This time we managed to get a booking inside the gur. Wow.
I always bump my head on top of the door.
Yep. Thank you. I learned that in traditional Mongolian culture, a gur is a portable tent that gets carried around amongst Mongolian communities residing up in the mountains.
It's quite huge inside, right?
Yeah, it doesn't look like big on the outside. Thank you. It's a tent that can be assembled and disassembled at any time. And inside the tent, it's actually incredibly warm to dwell in. It's actually crazy how big it is inside because when you look at it from the outside, it looks really small. Mongolian food is known to be really hearty, so it was such a perfect cuisine for winter. The restaurant was so sweet. They gave us a free serving of this garlic pastry. I forgot to film the rest of the food, but it was amazing. I woke up so late the following day. I think I was still digesting the food from Nadam, and I managed to pull myself together to get out of the apartment and just do something relaxing. I got my nails done. This week was one of the most emotionally exhausting weeks I've had in a while. I could barely keep my eyes open here. I was about to fall asleep. But then I snapped out of it because there was a protest happening outside of the nail place. I came to IKEA to purchase one thing only. One thing. It's one of those adjustable tables that you can use at the sofa. I do a lot of work sitting on my sofa while I'm watching YouTube, so I really needed one of those. Unfortunately, I tripped and fell and accidentally used my FPOS card to pay for this item as well. It's a shelf that's going in my lounge room. And just in case you guys were interested, this is the shelf that I bought for Salceology pieces to be displayed in my lounge room. I love this series, this black and clear glass sort of series. I was about to buy this bad boy. It reminds me of a specimen cupboard. That's why I wanted to buy it, but thank God I didn't. I also have those black and gold containers. It holds my coffee. I wanted to improve the way I pack orders, so I was looking for some black tubs to separate each order into with their packing slips. These were a bit too industrial for me, but I really love these ones, so I bought 5 of them. They were like $2 each. Very cute. I also accidentally tripped and fell and bought this cart as well. I wanted it to have all our packing items on there. 5 hours later, we finally get to the section that actually sells the TV stands to hold your laptop on. I didn't even buy it because this one is the one that I wanted. I saw it on Amazon for cheaper and it didn't come in black. All my furniture is black in my apartment, so it wasn't the vibes. And of course, as a fashionista girly, my favorite section in IKEA is the walk-in buildable wardrobe section. I like to go in here just to manifest the walk-in wardrobe. I've never had a walk-in wardrobe before, but, you know, it doesn't hurt to just put it out in the universe, I guess. You know those beakers that I drink coffee out of? I buy them from IKEA. They're actually measuring jugs. I feel like average coffee cups are too small, so I built a collection with these. I love the dark and moody vibe. Even my plates and my cups and bowls, they're all black. Now this section of IKEA gives me palpitations, like literally, because I have to pull off heavy items from shelves and I'm literally like a 5'1" Asian woman. After half an hour of trying to find the item, I nearly knocked out a Filipino family next to me when I put the item in my trolley. Luckily, they were so nice about it. They actually reminded me of my family. It was so sweet, but no one was hurt, so that was good. If you haven't heard of the As Is section in IKEA, let me put you onto it because most of my furniture, including my sofa and TV stand, I purchased from this section. Anything that is faulty or has been purchased before and returned by a customer gets sold here and sell it for a discount. You got to check it out. I decided not to buy a cinnamon roll today like I usually do, considering the amount of damage I just did at this store. I tried to be good. Do you guys want to see something cool? I realized that ever since I created this channel, I have been talking to you guys about my designs, but I haven't actually shown you any of the new ones I've made, and I felt really guilty. And I was like, you know what? There is a design that I can show you guys now because it's currently being created and we are creating samples for it at the moment. So do you want to see it? I'll show you. All right, are you ready? So this piece is currently in production at the moment. Let me make it bigger. Can you see what it is? Let's turn down the brightness so you can see her. There she is. How beautiful is she? So this is one of the designs that is currently in production at the moment. It is an anatomical representation of the human heart. And I actually created this piece because it was inspired by my mum. My mum was a cardiothoracic nurse for 30 years at the Alfred Hospital in Melbourne. And she retired a couple of years ago. So I wanted to create this piece for her birthday. I was so excited to create a piece for her, but as you can see by the design, it's incredibly difficult to make and I couldn't make it for her back then. But I finally found a manufacturer who can make it for us now. So this is the pendant of what's going to be a set of drop earrings and a necklace. So it's going to be the first set that Salceology has ever created for jewelry, like a first jewelry set. I'll show you guys what those pieces look like. So that's a mock-up 3D model of what the earrings are gonna look like. They're kind of like a drop earring, which is going to be amazing. So that's gold. I'll show you guys rose gold, very beautiful, and silver, which is also very nice. My samples, I've actually created an extra color, a color that we've never had in Salceology before. So apart from gold, rose gold, and silver, we've got another extra color in samples that are coming in because I want to suss out the vibes. So when that comes in, I will show you guys. These are the necklaces. So again, same design, but it will be a pendant on a necklace that you can wear. That's silver, rose gold, that's the side view. Gold, which is everyone's favorite color. So with this design, let's zoom in a little bit. A couple of features I wanted on this particular piece of the human heart were the coronary arteries. So I really wanted those to show on the surface. I really wanted to make sure that it had that anatomical correctness of what the human heart looks like. It took me a while to really establish the shape and everything and make sure that it was actually the right shape and size and dimensions. You have to make sure the dimensions of the anatomical model is correct even when you downsize it to a little piece of jewelry. So this design is actually going to be like a very small minimal piece. It's like that big. I wanted to make sure that all the major vessels were there as well. So, you know, the aortic arch, the pulmonary arteries, and the pulmonary veins on the sides. So we've found a manufacturer to make this piece, and I'm very excited because we'll get the samples in about 3 to 4 weeks. And I just got sent a video from that factory of what the sample is starting to look like. And it's so crazy because I've had this design in my archives for 15 months. For the life of me, I could not find anyone who could make this to the same detail that I wanted it. So this is actually the first time I got to see my 3D design in real life. So I'll show you guys the video that they sent me. It's very exciting. So what you guys just saw was the casting of the base metal of the piece. So when a jewelry piece is not solid gold or solid silver or solid anything, you have to create a mold of the base metal that the jewelry is going to be made of. Some jewelry pieces will be sterling silver as a base, some will use stainless steel, some will use other types of metals. And the base metal is what you just saw in that video. So that is what's going to be plated over in gold, rose gold, silver, and our mystery color so that it actually takes on its shape. And I was so happy when I saw it because she looks so cute. Like, she's so cute and very detailed and exactly how I wanted it. But the problem is, and the problem that we're facing is that the jewelry undergoes a polishing process. It actually goes through a few steps of polishing because that's the finish that I asked for. And what that means is those really delicate details, like the coronary vessels on the surface, they are going to get polished off because they're not thick enough and they're not deep enough. The factory is discussing options with me to have the original 3D file that I've sent to them and have it rendered again, like redesigned and revised again. So those 3D files that I showed you on my computer, ideally they would open those back up again and sort of add extra details to make those coronary vessels a bit thicker and deeper so that they can recast the model again and those vessels will be a little bit more prominent. So even if it gets polished down very heavily, we still won't lose the detail. So the next steps for this piece would be to speak to my engineer who created the original designs, ask her if she can send me those original files. There is a specific file type that this factory needs, and then send it to the factory, get the factory's designers to play around with that file, make a couple of edits to those coronary vessels, make them a bit deeper, and then hopefully recast the pieces again to see a bit of a difference, and hopefully we don't get to lose the coronary vessel detail in the polishing process. So stay tuned for that. I have just asked my engineer if she can provide me the files, and she's also preparing 4 other files of designs that I've created from a couple of vlogs ago, if you've watched that. So when I get those, I'll show you. One rule that I have in business is that I have very high standards when it comes to Salceology, and I don't compromise for anyone, especially when I work with them. I don't compromise the quality and the design of my pieces for anyone. If you make a deal with me to work with me and I'm paying you money to do it, I expect that you can fulfill what I'm asking for. And if they cannot fulfill what I'm asking for, I make it very clear that I'm more than happy to walk away. And yes, you do have to have a bit of an open mind when you're working in the jewelry process, because each factory has different processes and I guess skills to create pieces. And that's something that I understand, every creative process is different. So I try to keep an open mind and work with them because they are the experts in that process, and see how we can approach the designs that I create and how we can best make them. But sometimes some people I work with in the past will turn around and say, Angela, your designs are too difficult. Angela, what you're asking for is too much. It can't be done. And I'm not a fan of working with people like that. I don't like working with people who can't find solutions to problems. Like, that is not the answer I want to hear. I don't want to hear what you're asking for is too difficult, so we're going to find a solution that's a lot easier because we're too lazy to think of a better option. These pieces, a lot of them have never been created before in the level of detail and quality that I have designed them to be. So yes, we're going to get a lot of negativity because they're just very difficult to make. But I believe if they can be designed, they can be created. We just have to find a way around the processes to try and figure out the best way to do it. I do want to say that these expectations of mine and these standards are not just something that I apply in business. I apply it across every aspect of my life. But I hold myself accountable to the same standards. So, I'm not sitting there expecting a lot from other people and not giving that in return. Being compliant doesn't really get you anywhere as a woman. You really have to set your boundaries down because people are going to walk all over you if you don't do it, especially in business. When I first started in business, when I didn't know what I was doing before, I was always being ripped off. People loved to take advantage of me because I didn't understand the processes yet, and I was just getting screwed over all the time. I was paying lots of money for people to create pieces, and then the quality of those pieces were really poor, and you learn from your mistakes. And I want the best for my customers. The last thing I want is for my customers to use their hard-earned money to buy something from me and not be happy with the quality. Welcome to the business world. I want to add a caveat and preface by saying that compromisation, is that a word? Is definitely very important in other aspects of our lives. Like when we are dealing with the people that we love, compromise is very important. Sometimes you just have to, sort of give in a little bit just to maintain the relationship you have with the people in your life. But when it comes to business, I don't compromise. And it's funny because in the business space, that's where I get asked to compromise a lot. There have been many stages throughout that process where I've had to face a decision. Do I compromise or do I stick to my guns? And every time I've compromised, I have been very disappointed in myself, considering I built this business from the ground up. I literally gave birth to Salceology. She was something that I created and something that I wholeheartedly have full creative control over. Oh my God, I just asked Siri if compromisation was a word, and apparently it's not. How embarrassing. I'm sitting here telling you guys to not compromise and I can't even spell. Love it. Unfortunately, this was a pretty bad week for filming content. Halfway through the week, I stopped filming because I ended up getting really sick again for the 40th time. I managed to film a new diary update about my decision to relocate back to Melbourne. If you haven't watched it, I highly suggest that you watch it because I do talk about the decision and why I made that decision to move back to Melbourne from Canberra. So please watch it when you get a chance. And I always say this on this channel, but when you run a business on your own, it doesn't really matter if you are sick, whether you've gone through a bad breakup or if you've got a lot of negative things going on in your life at that point in that week, you still have to keep going. The business still has to run. The show must go on. I want to provide you guys with an update on this bad boy. So if you've been watching my Salceologist diary entry videos on my channel, I spoke about our cranium pendants. We want to put them back into the store because I was only putting up samples in my store back in the day, and this is an example of one of the samples. And I wasn't happy with the sample because, as you can see, there is a big fat line across the lateral views of the skull, and that is not anatomically correct. We do not have a big fat line from one ear to the other like this. And the reason why there's a line is because the only way we could create this piece was to create two separate skull pieces and then fuse them in half. So there's a flaw in our design process. It's too complex. So I've worked with my engineer to revise the designs of our cranium files to see if there is a way we can make this without a big line in the middle. So she's sent me files and I'm gonna have a look at them now to see how she has improved the design, and then I need to approve them. So let's have a look. I'm also watching my videos on TV because I always critique my videos when I create them to see how I can do it a bit better. Anyway, back to this. Right, the moment of truth. This is my blind reaction. All right. Skull at the front looks good. Skull sutures at the top, present. No big fat line. Oh, that looks beautiful. Oh, that's sick. Hang on. Man, my engineer's a freaking genius. This is what happens when women STEM, okay? We have an opening big enough to hopefully create the piece as one whole piece now. The one thing I didn't want to lose was the foramen magnum. That's the hole in which the brainstem and the spinal cord comes through. And it's still there. Oh, I love it. She even has a mastoid process there and everything. Oh my God, I love it. I'm so excited. We might actually be able to make this piece properly now. Wow, I'm so impressed right now. All right, we need to stop obsessing now and eat dinner and go to bed. So anyway, thank you for watching my vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. My next vlog will be a Melbourne one because I will be traveling there in a couple of days. So make sure you look out for that one. Don't forget to give us a bit of a like and a subscribe, and please leave comments below if you have any questions for me. Have a good one. See ya. Venus, what the hell happened to you? Like, I'm very confused. Are you dead? I think she's dead. Hey Siri, why does my Venus flytrap die in winter?
Okay, I found this on the web for why does my Venus flytrap die in winter. Check it out.
Venus flytrap dormancy. Oh, so Venus is not dead. She's just gone into a dormant phase. So she basically, I guess, shut off all energy supply to her other traps. That's why they're all black at the moment. Hopefully they get revived in spring. I hope she's not dead. There are so many flies in this house. She's not dead. She's in her dormant phase. She's just asleep at the moment because it's winter time. So apparently she will wake up in spring. She's not dead. And she'll be able to go back to her normal self. Yay. She won't realise that we'll be in Melbourne in springtime, so she might have a bit of a culture shock because all the food in Melbourne is seasoned and there'll be a lot of ethnicity where I'm going to be living, so you're in for a big surprise, my friend.